This is Hanafi Fiqh. I am showing you laws in Islam according to the Hanafi school of thought. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this video, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. This is the last lesson in this particular chapter of Wadi'ah. If you guys want to check out the other videos, I'd highly recommend it. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment below. So, lil muda. So this is muda. Muda, remember, is the person who has been entrusted, someone who has a trustee. An yusafir, safara yusafiru, to travel. Wadi'a is the trust. Wa in kana lahu haml. Haml, it means weight. So it's something that is fairly weighty. Mu'una is burden. Wa idha awda'a, it means to deposit or to give as a trust. Two men, rajulani. Hadara, attend. Okay, so this is word you guys know a lot of these words in it. Talaba, to demand. Nasib, share. Nasib, share. Dafa'a, yadfa'u, to hand over. And then a lot of these words again, you guys should know them. Qasama, yaqsimu, or qasama, yaqsimu, to divide. So this is divide. Yajuzu an dafa'a yaqtasimani, to split. Share, nisf, half. Yahfaz, to preserve. Again, a lot of these words, guys, are things that you guys are familiar with already. Muda, we've done that before. Sallama, to hand over. Right, so hand over. Zawjatak is your wife. Not your wife, obviously, but Zawja is wife. Dar is house, abode. And then Dhamina, to compensate. Dhamina yadmanu. All right, so let's have a go at trying to do the tarkib. I was about to skip the tarkib there. I know some of you guys would have been crying. Please keep the tarkib. Walil muda'i, jar majroor. An yusafira. Safara yusafiru. Bil wadi'ati, jar majroor. Wa in kana laha hamlun, ism. Wa ma'unta atuf, on to hamal. Wa idha awda'a fi'l, rajulani is the fa'il. Inda rajulin, dharf. وديعة هذا مفعول به بأودعة. ثم حضر أحدهما في الفاعل فطلب نصيبه في الفاعل مفعول به. يدفع إليه شيئا, so لم يدفع إليه شيئا مفعول به. حتى يحضر, حتى gives it نصب because of an hidden there. عند أبي حنيفة غير منصرف. وقال أبو يوسف غير منصرف. ومحمد منصرف. يدفع إليه نصيبه مفعول به في الفاعل. وإن أودع رجل في الفاعل عند رجلين شيئا مفعول به. مما يقسم, okay, so يقسم. لم يجوز أن يدفعه في الفاعل. أحدهما, sorry, this is فعل, this is فاعل. إلى الآخر. لكنهما يقتسمانه فيحفظ كل واحد في الفاعل منها نصفه وإن كان مما لا يقسم. You can say قسم as well, isn't it? Let me know in the comments. جاز أن يحفظه أحدهما كل واحد منهما. جاز أن يحفظ بإذن مضاف إليه. وإذا قال صاحب الوديعة للمودع لا تسلمها, سلم يسلم, النهي, لا تسلمها إلى زوجتك, جار مجرور. فسلمها في الفاعل. لم يضمن. okay. and احفظ أمر, احفظها في هذا البيت. Why is بيت مجرور? Let me know in the comments. This is a tricky one, this is. فحفظها في بيت آخر, is that correct? في بيت, is it آخرين, آخرة, what is it? Let me know in the comments what the i'rab for آخر is. Now remember, when you guys comment, make sure you comment with the timestamp as well, what time is. من الدار لم يضمن. وإن حفظها في دار أخرى ضامنة. Okay, let's look at this then. So this is pretty easy, guys, pretty easy. Nothing difficult, inshallah. Lil muda, right? So this guy is the muda. This guy is the one who is the trustee. Right, so I'm calling the trustee, the one who has been given the trust. And let's say this guy over here, this guy is the mudi', the one who has given the trust. So let's say, for example, he's going to give him a mobile phone. So mobile phone is something small. You can put it in your pocket. It doesn't really take up too much room. It's not too weighty. That's fine. But what if he was to give him, I don't know, something that was very heavy? Like, for example, he gave him a big sack. This is a sack. I don't know if you guys know, Americans, if you guys know what sack is. Sack, you guys say the same thing? So this is a big, let's say 200 kg sack of potatoes. Potatoes, 200 kilos of potatoes. I don't know why he's giving him entrusting him with potatoes, but he's entrusting him with potatoes. Okay, so now is this guy the trustee? The question is this now: the trustee, is he allowed to go on a journey? So he's going on a safar. Can he go on a safar with these things, with a mobile or with a big sack of? Yeah, yes, he can. That's the short answer. Yes, he can. So lil muda, the muda has the rights, and yusafira, to travel, bil wadi'ati, whether it's a small wadi'a, a large wadi'a, wa in kana, even if it has hamlun wa mu'unatun, it has hamal, it has weight, and it has a burden, like it's difficult to move around. Now, obviously, the trustee is going to have to be in charge of the costs and everything. So he can do that. Technically, he's allowed to travel around this. Khalas, that masala's done. Straightforward. All right, next one then. Let's move on to number 2. So let's say, for instance, there are 2 men. All right, so these are 2 men. Let's call this guy A and let's call him B. And they leave a trust with another guy. This is the trustee. Right, so they've deposited a trust with him. So let's say they've deposited their laptop. It could be something which is like a laptop, yeah, or it could be something. For example, let's say it's 2 laptops. Yeah, they have. Actually, no. Let's change laptop because then you'll understand why. Let's say it's 10 kg. Okay, so it's 10 kg of rice. Okay, 10 kg of rice. So they've given it to him as a trust, right? So let's say, for instance, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now they give it on Monday. So this is the day that they give it. Okay. So listen carefully now. So these 2 guys, now once they have given this, and one of them now, let's say B goes to, so on Wednesday, B comes to the trustee and says, can I have my share? Am I allowed to have, split this in half and give me 5 kilos? Is that allowed or is it not allowed? So here is where there's a difference of opinion. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he says no. You can't until the other person turns up. A has to turn up in order for you to be able to give it to him. And Imam Abu Yusuf and Muhammad, they say, yes, you can. Right, you can. That's the difference between the two. إذا أودع رجلان, 2 people, A and B, have deposited something with a man, so this guy trustee, وديعة, a trust, which is 10 kilos of rice, ثم حضر أحدهما, one of them now turns up. This was on a Monday. One of them has turned up, which is B. In this case, let's say B turns up. فطلب نصيبه, and he wants his share. Can I have my share, please, sir? منها, from it. لم يدفع إليه شيئا. The trustee will not hand over to him anything at all. حتى يحضر, until attends الآخر. آخر is the file. Until the other attends, according to Imam Abu Hanifa. All right, so this is Imam Abu Hanifa's position. What does Imam Abu Yusuf and Muhammad say? قال Abu Yusuf and Muhammad يدفع إليه نصيبه. They say yes, you can hand it over, right? Because it's something which is divided between the 2. 5 kilos is his, 5 kilos is his, and therefore he can give his particular share to him. Right? That's the difference between the 2. Right, so that was quite easy then. Now, let's say the other way around now. Let's flip it the other way around. Let's see if we can figure this one out. I'm sure there's some bright people out there who are listening to this. Right, so now let's say, for instance, one man, was to leave the item with two people. Yeah. So for instance, let's say it's rice. So it can be two scenarios basically. One is that it can be rice. So let's say it might be rice. So let's say 10 kilos of rice. Okay, 10 kg of rice. Okay, or it might be something which is not rice. Like for example, something which cannot be divided. A laptop. You can't divide a laptop, otherwise you get damaged. So what basically has happened is two scenarios here now. So let's say, for example, on Monday. Let me know if you guys like me drawing these timelines. Does it make it more clear to you guys, or is it just me wasting time? So Monday, for example, let's say he gives the item. So this is the mudi. Let's call him Zaid. And these guys are called A and B. So he's given them this bag. Now, that bag, they are not allowed to, one is not allowed to hand it to the other, right? So A can't say you take care of it, B can't say you take care of it. What they have to do is they have to divide it between themselves, half and half. So 5 and 5, right? 5 goes to one, 5 goes to the other. So this was when it was done, let's say, Monday. So in awda'a rajulun, if one man was to deposit in the rajulain with two men, shay'an something, mimma yuqsamu, which is divisible, lam yajuz, it's not permissible, an yadfa'ahu ahaduhuma, it's not permissible for one of them to hand it over to the other. A cannot hand it over to B. Walakinnahuma, rather than both, yaqtasimanihi, they both must divide it between themselves. So 50-50. فَيَحْفَظُ, and therefore كُلُّ واحد, each one of them will safeguard nisfahu, half of it. Okay, so that this is Monday hand over. So on Monday, before they actually depart, they have to divide it between themselves. They can't hand it over to each other because the Zayd had made both of them the trustees. Right, so that's basically for a reason, that is. Okay, however, what if it's an item that can be divided? What if it's an item that can be divided? So, it can be divided, then, like for example, laptop. وَإِن كَانَ مِمَّا what if it's an item that cannot be divided? Cannot be, because we did divide it. So, إِن كَانَ مِمَّا لَا يُقْسَمْ, that can't be divided, جَازَ أَن يَحْفَظَهُ, then it's permissible for A to hand it over to B, and يَحْفَظُ أَحَدُهَا بِإِذْنِ الْآخَرِ, with the permission of the other. Meaning, because you can't divide this, they can't like stay in the same house. It's going to become too burdensome to tell them, oh, both of you got to stay in the same room and take care of it. No, that's going to become burdensome. So, in other words, any time of the week they can switch over. So let's say, for example, Tuesday they want to switch over, Wednesday they want to switch over, right? So this switching over is permissible between the two. They can have turns doing it, totally fine. But if it's something that can be divided, they have to divide it from the start. They have to divide it between each other. Make sense? Okay. I don't even know why that timeline was there. Okay, so let's have a go at the next one then. Okay, now this is another masala. Let's say for instance, this is the Zaid. Okay, this is the mudi', depositor. And this is the trustee, muda'. Okay, so let's call him Mr. T. And the Zaid says, don't give it to your wife. No, why doesn't he give it to his wife? Don't give your missus, your wife. Now, is that an instruction that he must obey? That's the question. So let's say, for example, poor wife, right? Let's call her Maryam. His poor wife Maryam now, she doesn't know why he's saying don't give it to your wife. So let's say he does give it to his wife. Will he be allowed? So, yes. إذا قال صاحب الوديعة, صاحب الوديعة Zaid says to the muda, the trustee, لا تسلمها, do not hand it over إلى زوجتك. Now what he's done, so this happened, let's say for example, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc., etc. Okay. Right, so let's say for example, this happened on Monday. And let's say on Wednesday, he gives it to his wife. He hands it over to his wife. So he hands it over to his wife. فَسَلَّمَهَا إِلَيْهَا لَمْ يَضْمَنْ. If anything was to happen to it, he does not have to compensate for it. So this guy will not be responsible, because remember, we said this in the beginning of the chapter last week. We mentioned this, that he's allowed to protect it, safeguard it with anyone who are in his dependence. Okay. Now, what if this guy was to say, same guy now, okay, this is the wife situation. Let's say, for instance, he said, I want you to keep it in house A, not B. This is house A. So he says to him, I want you to keep it in house A. I do not want you to keep it in house B. Yeah. Rather, let's not use house because, let me just do this again. So let's say it's room rather, because then it's going to make sense. So let's say there's a big house, and in this house there's different rooms. There's one room there, and there's one room there. It's called A. This is called B. This is called C. This is called D. And this is his house. This is the door there as well. You're probably thinking, how does he get access to this house? Right. So he said to him, I want you to keep it in room B in your house, A in your house. Only in room A. Do not keep it in any other room, not B, not C, not D, none of these. Only in room A. Right. So only in room A. Now, is it permissible for him to keep it in another room? Would it be allowed? This is the question. So he says, وَإِنْ قَالَ لَهُ, and if he was to say to him, احفظها, safeguard it, في هذا البيت, in A. فحفظها, now he's gone, Mr. T's gone, and he has safeguard, protected it in another, let's say in D. Yeah. And it gets stolen or something. Will he be responsible? من الدار, from the house? لم يضمن, he won't be responsible. Now, however, if he was to keep it in another house, so let's say, for example, this is another house he has, and he was to put the item into this house, let's call this house X. This is house X. And he puts it inside of house X. وَإِنْ حَفِظَهَا حَفِظَهُمَا, I think it's supposed to be حَفِظَهَا, it's a mistake. So let me know in the comments, is your book say حَفِظَهُمَا? It's supposed to be حَفِظَهَا. حَفِظَهَا فِي دَارٍ, in another house, ضَمِنَا. If anything happens to it, he will now be responsible for this, right? So this one will not be allowed. So he's allowed to save it in one of the rooms of the same house, but he can't save it in a different house because maybe, I don't know, the community or area or whatever he was happy with and the other guy was not. And that's it basically. That is wadi'ah. All right, so I hope you guys understand that. All right, let's have a go at some questions then. So what is the ruling if the person entrusted with the deposit travels with it? Is it allowed, the person allowed to travel with it? According to Abu Hanifa, when two men deposit something together, can one take his share without the other being present? Can one person take his share without the other one being present? Okay, what do Abu Yusuf and Muhammad say regarding one of the two depositors taking his share without the other one? If two people are entrusted with something divisible, what must they do? Let me know in the comments. If the item is not divisible, like a laptop, under what condition can one person keep it? What happens if the depositor forbids handing the item to the trustee's wife, but the trustee does so anyway? What happens? Is he liable? When does the trustee become liable when storing it in another room of the same house or in another house entirely? Let me know in the comments below. So, let's just go over this then. So now, can the trustee travel with the wadi'ah? So we said yes, even if the wadi'ah has weight and burden. Okay, what happens if two men were to deposit something with one man and one of them came on Wednesday and he wanted his share? Can he give it to him? Abu Hanifa says no. What does Sahibain say? They say yes, he can give it. Okay, if one man was to deposit something with two men, two trustees, what must happen over here? So we said what happens is that the item must be divided between the two. Yeah, so each person must divide it. Okay, what if it's an item that's non-divisible? Yeah, non-divisible. So in that case, he can hand it over as long as he gets permission from the other person. So one person can keep it on Tuesday, other one on Wednesday, and they can share turns, as long as the other one's happy. And then the masala with regards to if a person says, don't give it to your wife for safekeeps, what happens here? So we said it is permissible to give it to the wife. You don't have to listen to this depositor. And what if he says only keep it in one room of your house, not another? And he keeps it in another, what's going to happen? Okay, khalas. And that's it, guys. Jazakumullah khair, guys, for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. May Allah bless all of you guys. If you guys enjoy my videos, please share them with others. Spread the word as well. These videos are all free of charge, so anyone can benefit, inshallah. If I make mistakes, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to, inshallah, correct the mistakes. And if you want to become patron, you want to on a monthly basis support my channel, please consider becoming a patron. It means a lot to me, helps my channel to grow, and I appreciate all of the effort that you do for me, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.